Clevates is a dark fantasy very much rich in world building. I mean, the monsters, the different human races, the kingdoms, the weapons, the magic, the battle system. Everything in this anime, when it comes to the world building, was executed quite flawlessly. And if the first season is of any indication, there are much more to be untold when it comes to the world building and the history of this world. But let's now talk about a little bit of our main character, Alicia. Alicia, ever since she was young, she has dreamed of becoming a hero and expand the human race and their territory. Because if you see the map, you see that in totality, the amount of land that the human race occupy is quite small. Yes, you have different kingdoms, different races, but in totality, the amount of land they occupy small, and you'll think that they would like to expand their territory. But the problem is that in all four corners of the map, those dark spots are actually occupied by monster territory, and each territory has very, and I do mean very powerful monsters. We only got to see out of those, we only got to see Clevates himself that occupied the south, and he's one of our main characters. So we got to see a lot when it comes to his fighting prowess. And if he's any indication, the other three monsters that occupy all the other three corners of the map, can be equally as powerful or even more. I cannot wait to see them. We only got to see the dragon from the north, and we got to see one of them from the, I think it was the west, that he had. We only got to see him a shadow silhouette, so we only got to see, let's say, only when it comes to fighting, we only got to see Clavitus and the way he looks. And from the north, we only got to see a small glimpse of the dragon. But man, did he look very cool with those eyes, very creepy. And we didn't got to see his entire body, but even the small glimpse of his image was enough to send anybody running for the hills, because man, that he looks intimidating and super scary. But ever so few generations, the human race decides to take a couple of heroes, one of them being Alicia herself, in order to expand the territory. And they sent them out towards the south to challenge Clevates. But Clevates, like I said, being super, and I do mean incredibly powerful, he was able to decimate them all instantly. The only reason why they even managed to put not even a fighting chance, but the only reason why they were able to reach so deep into his territory is because each one of them wielded very powerful and unique weapons that glow bright red and give the user very mystical properties, being able to control the elements, being able to fly, teleport, necromancy. But even with those powerful weapons, they did not stand a chance at all. Clavitus killed them all instantly, and because of the Clevatess being tired, oh, every so few generations, the human race trying to kill me. Well, I'm tired of this, so he went towards the kingdom and decimated the kingdom, killed the king, lead the entire kingdom in ruins. And when he was going to return back to his own territory, he, sorry about that. When he was going to his own territory, he was stopped by a woman and pleading towards him, "Oh, please take care of my baby. I know that you think a human as a lesser beings, but if you take care of this baby, I am sure that he's going to show you that humanity has actually quite some redeeming qualities, and we are not all that bad as you think." And with his and he decided, okay, I'm going to take the baby, take care of him, but he doesn't know how to take care of a baby or anything about humans. So he decided with his ichor or blood, he revives Alicia and pretty much revive her, a walking zombie, making her pretty much immortal, but she's not able to uh, uh, refuse any of Clevates' orders, and she becomes a guide when it comes to Clevatess to taking care of the baby and about the human race. And that's mostly what the anime is about, taking care of the baby. Later finding out, this is not spoiler, this is in episode 2, finding out that the baby is actually a royal bloodline and protecting the baby from the different human races that want to exploit the baby, because since he's the only one with royal bloodline, he's the only one being able to make those super powerful weapons that glow bright red. And Alicia being being actually quite worried about the baby, because she knows if anything ever happens towards that baby, the human race is kaput. Clevates is going to completely give up on the human race and kill them all and decimate the entire human territory. And yes, throughout the episodes, also Alicia being questioned about what does it truly mean to be a hero. And while she has a certain idea in her head that, oh, I lost, I died, I'm now Clevates' pretty much slave, so I cannot be a hero anymore. But no, Clevates is quite wise. Okay, I gave you quite a couple of orders, but I never told you to give up on being a hero. And you see how her ideals of what it truly means to be a hero changes throughout the episodes. And even Clevates herself, at the beginning, she only saw the baby as a means to an end, but she actually, Clevatess, I always say she because she took on a female form of the human. Clevatess, she actually grew quite fond of the baby, becoming quite very much like a nagging stepmother when it comes to taking care of the baby. Oh, you're cleaning him too rough. He's going to cut rashes. Take care of him correctly, hold them correctly, and so on and so on. She's become a very strict, like a stepmother or a helicopter parent. It was quite fun, and you will think that Alicia being killed by Clevates and she becoming Clevates' slave, not able to refuse any of his her orders, she will be fearful, hesitant, about the way that she interact with Clevates, but actually quite not. Alicia is very strong-minded. She doesn't mind pushing back on Clevates, trying to refuse her Clevates' orders and say, "No way, are you stupid? Why are you doing this?" You know, kind of. She's not able to fight back with her actions, but she's able to fight back with her words and challenge Clevates himself in what when she does something, Clevates does something that she thinks is inappropriate. So it's quite strange the dynamic between Alicia and Clevates. And there's one more character that I want to talk about, and that being Neluru. Neluru is a character that I specifically want to talk about because let me just say the voice acting on this character was tremendous. Whether you decide to watch this English sub or English dub, you are going to enjoy the voice acting of this character because when it comes to Neluru, she has her teeth. She's missing most of her teeth because she literally got her teeth smacked in, and you can see that is the way the voice actress, whether it be the English dub or sub, was able to execute it flawlessly because you can feel the pain, the hurt, frustration, the just the amount of anguish that this character is in, but she is not able to scream, always talking in a calm manner because she subjected herself towards this pain that she experienced ever since she was little. And my God, I just want to say that the voice acting and the writing on this character and her backstory was phenomenal. I actually got teary-eyed when I saw her backstory because the backstory was one thing, but pairing that with the voice acting, I felt the pain, I felt the anguish. I got teary-eyed and I was fighting to hold the net back in and not go and do a ugly crying. Um, One thing that I almost forgot that I want to say before ending this video is about Alicia. Like I said before, Clevatess revived Alicia, and she being pretty much a walking corpse. She's now immortal. As long as Clevatess will set himself, Alicia cannot die. And Alicia, throughout the episodes, take quite an advantage of she becoming immortal. I mean, jumping from unsurvivable heights, drowning to the bottom depths of the lake. She taking full advantage of her immortality in order to escape normally impossible situations. And I like that she is not only takes advantage of the environment, her situation, and continues on to be a proper hero and growing throughout the episodes. And that one thing that I just wanted to say before ending the video. So I am going to give this anime a score. You know what? I'm going to give this score a 9 out of 10. I was going to give this anime an 8, but I just enjoyed the character Naruru so much. Her backstory, the voice acting, the animation, throughout the episode, the animation was actually phenomenal. Not the and the fighting animation was also very much well done. And like I said, the world building in this anime is exquisite, and there's just so much more that we're going to learn once the second season and so on is presented to us. So I cannot wait. So yes, I'm going to give this anime a 9 because I know that this anime is going to get better in later seasons. And that's all that I'm going to talk for now. So have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're from. See you next video.